Archivest log. My assistant here will be recording data on the gravitational forces of the planet Druvundus, the planet in which we currently live on. The objective for this session to refer on our previous knowledge and place it in my next project, and analyze the properties to further the research on the unique behaviors of the gravitons here, and how I may use them in further projects.
We are ready now, Archivest sir. The artificial voice changes you requested are online.
That is good. Let's begin. Our planet Druvundus is an impossible oddity for a multitude of reasons, the first being its size and age. Size-wise, it shouldn't exist in any practical sense at all. Its smallest estimated approximation of its surface area diameter is that of an average galaxy, being about over 120,876 light-years from one pole to another. Further analysis will be done in a later date. This by itself is an astronomical phenomenon of ridiculous proportions, one that has not been replicated in any other environment, a strange occurrence. Another being its age, another phenomenon that is seemingly just as ridiculous, being over hundreds and thousands of times older than a galaxy's lifespan, a number not even I can count. With recorded history being about over 900,823 billion centuries, an age far older than even other universes. Universes that we are able to perceive, thanks to and despite the God constant Dre Dane, who furiously guards the cosmic line between realities and universes, and cosmic bodies far beyond. Yet my rival somehow managed to find a way to travel through space-time and into different universes without gaining his eye, something I envy him for. Of course, both of these phenomena pale to the main subject for today's log. Druvundus's gravity. Something that would prohibit its existence if it were to behave like it should here. As the greater the mass an object holds, along with density, the greater the force of gravity that objects hold. If one's force becomes too great, the object would collapse inward and create a black hole, yet our planet does not. And the excessive age is unique, with a planet's life expectancy at its maximum without outside variables is about 15.2 thousand billion years. Long this may be, however, extremely dependent on it be small, and isolated from threats of a star and other objects with gravitational pulls. While ours easily exceeds such numbers in a large factor, and orbits an even more significant and massive star. Though that is a subject for another log. With all these factors, this planet should not exist, yet it does, and that isn't even the strangest thing. The fact of how the gravity works, while one should expect it to surpass that of even the greatest black holes. However, within 50 kilometers of the sea level, the gravity's force is akin to a solid rock-based planet 12,756 kilometers in diameter. And beyond said points, the gravity exponentially and steadily increases to a significantly higher level till it reaches its absolute points. While the gravitational force of the core is unknown, though something probably akin to a singularity, behaving akin to a regular planet's core of magma, its significant gravitational force moving the massive plates at the lower mantles, which would orbit the singularity at a safe distance, if one would exist. However, there is no way for that to be tested, as the only entity in area that still lives to be able to observe such phenomenal is also the quantum titan Hazardiah, which he is imprisoned to, or at least part of his form and chains are, and is in no way of communicating said information. The atmosphere, however, is accessible to study and research.
Sir, is there any notes you wish for me to make, or anything else, perhaps some knowledge not privy to the public or governments, and aren't recorded in the official records of your archives to review to help with this log?
No, assistant, not at the moment. Now, there are a variety of unique variables within the atmosphere, including how within about 500 meters of the turning point, the gravitational pull goes towards the planet's surface, and after that, another graced zone of even gravity, about 800 meters, with a gravitational force that makes the gaseous clouds more solid and hold a higher weight and density. Such area is designated as the dracosphere, where most draconic creatures of the avian sort fly when going at large distances, often using the clouds as resting points and more lift for their wings, allowing them to fly in a manner more akin to swimming. or a movement of which is a mix between that and gliding, with the mighty falling of their wings granting them momenty. And the incredible and yet strange gravity allows their bone structure to hold unique properties and strengths, and the ecosystem's own fauna full of protein, allowing the draconic species to evolve incredibly powerfully. I once in my youth theorized that the draconic species originally evolved from zone and may be the reason why they are so powerful, and the clouds being dense enough, when clustered in a large enough group, they could hold solid land, unique properties to be sure, and most certainly only possible in such a unique environment, though a subject for another log. After the edges of the dracosphere, the gravity continues to increase exponentially at an exponential rate as usual. However, instead it is now being pulled upward towards the very top of the atmosphere surface, which the level of gravity at said surface is unlike anything we can record. It behaves akin to a black hole, however instead converging on a singular point of mass. It then convergent with the very weather system itself being pulled by its rotation, with significant mass like stars and planets, the remnant debris being carried and thrown at a singular area, the His Nation wasteland. Very few things have made it through and past the atmosphere's unforgiving gravitational power, being the quantum titans and gods themselves, and Grand General Hector's ships when he tried to invade the planet only to backfire, resulting in the majority of his ships being destroyed and the rest being severely damaged and incapable of flight, crash landing and stranding them on this planet at the location that now stands as capital of Hector's own nation much time later, with details that won't be included in this log.
Perhaps in another log, sir.
Perhaps. The materials of Hector's ships must be incredible to withstand such power and force. And shows the gravitons aren't absolute, which gives me an idea. It seems this reconnaissance was a beneficial endeavor after all. Before I end this log, I will list another strange anomaly on the fact the planet's gravity didn't always exist this way. I can confirm with certainty that in the first era, the gravity behaved as it should, though the planet still maintained itself for unknown reasons, and the gravity changed after the arrival of the Titans, all of them by the way, not just the quantum ones, including the mythological ones, and others. Some priests and scholars say the gravity may be this way by the will of Crete, which I may admit is a possibility, though not one I will give much consideration without further data. Though it may have something to do with the quantum gods, or something akin to that, as the gravity only stabilized after the invasion of redacted and the discovery of the fundaments. To be further researched. The priority of learning the unique mechanisms and behaviors of these gravitons will greatly aid and enhance Project Foundation Genesis.
Project F.G? Do you wish to further elaborate on this log for further notes?
No, Assistant. No, I do not. That is classified information on a need-to-know basis. This concludes the log.